Hello, hello, everybody. Time for something different. Yeah, bit of endurance racing, a special event, the 2.4 hours of Le Mans multiclass racing it is. Today, on Gran Turismo 7, try to do a little bit of longer races then. Here at the very legendary track in France. So not the 24 hours, the 2.4 hours it is. Could be an interesting one. The race, we could see a little bit of rain maybe for the beginning, midway through that race. Towards the end it will get dry definitely, but there is definitely some rainy settings for this one. And of course we also will run a little bit of a qualifying session before qualifying will take place on the afternoon settings in sunny, cloudy conditions, and then the race will start in evening, night time. So should have some nice visuals, hopefully. So just waiting for two more drivers to join the lobby, and then we are good to go with the qualifying session. So yeah, we have the hypercars represented in the game with the Toyota GR010 Hybrid, and we also have a bunch of LM GT3s in it. So we have a Porsche, a BMW, a Mercedes, Ferrari, a Lexus. So this should be interesting, those settings. And yeah, apart from that, it will be multi-class racing, endurance racing. We will run with heavy damage, so usually we don't do that here with CLR, but for that one, let's see how that goes. Once the drivers will start qualifying, we'll go through all of the cars, the drivers, show the liveries, etc. But for now we just wait and for those drivers to enter. Yeah, the heavy damage it is today. Oh, it's more like the vibe of endurance racing, I think. Okay, looks like we are missing one driver, so I'll open it up now to the reserves. Just a little delay. So, let's inform the drivers we will be starting soon. Scanning, so yeah, one spot available. Open it up for the reserve drivers now. It's either LMGT3 or a hypercar slot available. So just want to get the grid in the lobby before I will start the qualifying. I don't want to redo it. And okay, we have 15 drivers now in, so we have Jakey Daytona joining in as a late reserve. So not sure if it will be a GT3 or the hypercars. We'll find out very soon when he kicks in, and then we get the qualifying session underway. 20 minutes it will be, in good conditions on the track, no rain it is. So with that being said, we should be ready to go now any second. Also little info, so he's in our looks, and it is a Mercedes AMG. All right, so the arrow is also open for adjustments, so you can like change front and rear downforce settings. All right, good luck, and qualifying will be starting now. Oh, we should have a quite long outlap. Got plenty of time and to get us through all of the drivers and their cars, liveries, etc. So you see it as well on the screen, 30 liters of initial fuel it is, and the hypercar should get out on track. We'll get a clean lap in, and we shouldn't see any traffic, hopefully, between hypercars and the LMGT3s during that qualifying session. So see, so Lemony in the hypercar looks a bit like a Ferrari livery. The blue racer in his signature blue. On the track, two of the heavy favorites in the hypercars, Lemony and Blue Racer. We have River Actress using his Road to Le Mans livery again. And we have M1M, yeah, light blue and black. That is, I think, Leroy Jenkins, ex-Lee, whatever. So Leroy it is probably. We have, okay, a bit of traffic between hypercars and LMGT3s. We have a Beetlejuice in a that was tested in the LMGT3 Mercedes AMG Beetlejuice, but we'll catch him on the straight before he starts his lap. And it is also Scary Guy and racing in the hypercar class. So for the LMGT3s we have Taz in the AMG, and the Echo is running Oh, slipstream battles already. We have Oscar in. That is the Aston Martin, I think. Not mistaken. Yeah. Ollie Henry in the Lexus RCF and Diego in a Porsche 911. A little bit of a Rexy theme. So Lemony aborted that lap and could get close. We get a clean lap. We have Rick joining us after a while. Aussie friend, rocking a BMW M6. And JD Murphy in a Ferrari 458. And representing TCR, Josh aka Pool Shark, also running with a very shiny Lexus RCF. And JP Daytona here in the second Mercedes AMG on the grid. So let's see, where is Lemony through the Porsche curves. There's Oscar in front of them. Maybe testing the lap with traffic already. Qualifying. Taz sitting in between Scary Guy and Lemony Squeeze. So he's the first of the LMGT3s to start that flying lap and has some hypercars right behind, so not ideal, clearly. So let's get our fingers crossed that everything will be fine that lap and don't see any drama. Lemony going wide is catching up with the Scary Guy. Needs to wait now behind Tattoo Rouge. So you have more than one lap, so it's all good. So, and they will get past. Has now left and right the two hypers. So braking for the first chicane and Lemony late on the brake. So we go to the front where we have the Blue Racer and get a little bit of an onboard action going on. So the end of the long Mulsanne straight. At least during the qualifying session, it will be pretty much flat out revving the nuts out of the Toyota Hypercar. Oh, 7th gear. Now into Indianapolis. Little lift needed probably, yeah, just before the King. Now into the slow left-hander. Good traction, braking for an arch. First gear for rotation, second gear on accelerator, and a little bit of a wiggle. And then it's go, go, go. Approaching the famous Porsche curves. Hypercars, of course, with good aerodynamics. A bit deep. Brings it back, carries the speed. The end of the Porsche curves now. Out of karting we go. This will be the point where we see double file formation later on. And now into the four chicanes we go. The first one. That second one, and you see that first lap time, 3:27. River with a 3:28. And the 3:31 for M1M. Leroy with a 32. Here comes Beetlejuice. Could be a nice lap as well. 30. 29 it is. P3 currently. And then the next two hypercars will be Lemony. Even with that traffic, 37.2. The scary guy taking it easy, River. Abandoning that lap. Crosses the line, so what about avoiding the damage test, but not ideal. Not the best way to end the lap and start the new one. So Oscar takes provisional pole in the LMGT3s in that Aston Martin. See that the Echo up to P2. The pass Tess and Ollie Henry. There is Rick with a 408. Josh approaching the Porsche curves. No, the Ford chicanes now. Getting confused already. Oh, it will be a long one to not mess it up. 410. And the last LMGT3 to set a lap time will be Jakey Daytona. So he's now coming out of the Porsche curves. Let's see where he can slot in. Sub 4 minutes for now. Don't think it will be a sub 4 minute when he crosses the line, but getting close to that 4 minute mark. 4:01. Well, that puts him second in class. So a quick rundown. Lemony squeeze on provisional pole. Nearly the same lap as Blue Racer, who is already towards the end of that second flying lap. And 10 minutes in. 10 minutes to go. This could be an improvement. 26 incoming, 26.5 for Blue. So Ripper on the outlap, we saw him. Maybe he got damage and aborted the lap. Here is Beetlejuice. No, M1M will be the next. We'll start improving a little bit. And Leroy improving as well to a 31. So Beetlejuice not getting close to that 29 again. It's a 33 for now. So Lemony, that looks promising. 26 incoming as well for Lemony, a 0.7. That's P2 currently. There's a bit of traffic going on. So in that LMGT3 class, Oscar with a 3:58.1, setting the pace early. 3.5 seconds the gap to Jakey. Another 7/10 to the Echo, and we saw that Taz, that near spin. I didn't have the best run, of course, to start the lap. But will be, of course, enough time to do 2 more laps. The tire should be okay, the fuel as well. Getting a better run this time. Two drivers very close. Okay. What happened to that car? A sudden loss of power. I don't know. Just waiting, getting maybe a clear lap. No, something happened to that Porsche. It's not moving at this stage, so we'll keep an eye on that. Yeah, back again. I think auto drive is kicking in now and back into the pits. It is. Right. Let's see. Pool truck not improving on his second flying lap. Rick staying at a 408. Ollie Henry with that 405 did improve his time, but not in precision for now. The fuel getting low already. We started with 30 liters. Tess was definitely up for a, I think, at least low for a minute. Without that mistake, 4.26 for JD Murphy. Vehicle back on track. Will it be enough to get one more lap in? Have a maximum of 3-minute overrun after the 20 minutes, so not everyone will be able to finish that last flying lap, unfortunately. Oh, so just Beetlejuice improvement. And Lamini, the first driver to hit 3:25.9 just, but it's half a second. Now the gap to Blue Racer in P2. The Beetlejuice then currently sitting in P3. Rourke's not far behind on his flying lap, improving. Doesn't need much though to get past the finished driver. Keeps it within the track limits out of karting. Past Maison Blanche and approaching the 4 chicanes. Looks fast. Took a bit too much curb for my liking. Gained a little bit. Stays in P4 for now. P5 for Leroy, P6 for M1M Wood. A penalty, so won't be improving on that lap. And the scary guy playing in the kitty litter for a little bit. It's probably the end of the qualifying session for the American driver. So Oscar still leading that LMGT3 class by quite a margin. Can Jakey Daytona get closer? Tess improved to a 4.20, so P3 in class again. Approaching the final minutes of this qualifying session. So just over 3 minutes of time plus 3 minutes overrun. The Porsche driver might be just fine, and to get one more time lap in. JD Murphy and Ferrari on that arguably final flying lap. Ollie Henry as well in the Lexus. Rick now starting his final run and running with some front damage, unfortunately. Don't think he will be improving and will be probably now failing that session. The same goes for Pool Shark. So, and it's probably also the final shot for the Hypercar, so Blue Racer abandoned it. Here comes Beetlejuice improving. It's 27.6. One more lap as well. The penalties not helping now on that arguably final lap. Can River improve? He needs to find 9/10 to get past Beetlejuice. He's 6/10 down. Won't be improving. Pretty sure about that. Understeers a little bit. And the penalty. And that's most likely the end of the qualifying session for the German driver now as well. With that half-second penalty, he won't be improving on that final lap. So the last minute of the session now started, and it looks like the grid for the Hypercars is set. Lemony will take pole position. Blue Racer in P2. Beetlejuice on that second row alongside with River Ruckus and Leroy and M1M and a Scary Guy on P7. In the LM GT3s, it looks like Oscar with that 358.1 gets the position. Jakey P2 in class. Tess is on that final charge. It's a 4-minute flat, so I knew he could do that. So he's joining Oscar on the front row in the LM GT3. So Jakey third. What about the Echo? Can he improve on his final lap? There's some traffic. I might get a little bit of a slipstream. Let's see. Porsche through the Porsche curves, improving a little bit. Needs to find 2 seconds and a bit to move up the position. We don't know what the previous lap, the final sector looked like. Careful. It's a 4:02, and that's the end of that session. And I think that is everyone finished now. Just those last couple of laps. Lemony running very wide, should collect a track limit penalty for that, pretty sure. Yeah, half a second. But nevertheless, with a 3:25.9, takes a pole position in that Le Mans winning Ferrari livery on that Toyota. Nice take. Alright, so then let's wait for that timer to run out, and then we grab the qualifying results and reset the lobby for the actual race settings with some rain, hopefully. Should hopefully be an interesting race start with maybe a moist track. We'll find out. But yeah, the race, we will do a manual formation lap as well, and then a double file rolling start. All controlled manually. I hope this all goes to plan, at least. Should get a nice start for this race with that formation lap, so we can have a look at the cars once again, and the drivers can get ready, but also the tire temperatures might drop. You know, you don't know. Yeah, Lemony, you just drive 100 miles per hour, then double file 60 miles per hour, you take the left-hand side, and coming out of the final turn, you decide when it's time to go. So just to grab those screenshots and save them somewhere. And then I can redo the lobby. All right. So let's see what race weather will look like. And once everyone is ticked in, I can set the grid order. It looks very cloudy. For now, we can have a sneak peek at the weather radar. So there's definitely some rain in the area here at the circuit, but no rain hit the track so far last 30 minutes. There's a new one coming. It looks like we have a dry start for that race. Oh. Oh, and then let's set the grid order. Lemony on pole position, Blue Racer P2, Beetlejuice P3, River Rockers in P4. Then Euro hasn't ticked in currently, so we need to go to M1M. Where is he? Scary guy. Then we have Oscar. Tess, Jakey, oh, Shady, Murphy, Ollie Henry, Rick, and Pool Shark. So we just need to slot in Leroy in P5. All right. So, grid is set. Formation lab starting soon. Right. Good luck. Have a good race, and yeah, it's dry for now at least. So I go through the weather settings. So this is what it's like set. So hour 3, hour 4, hour 5, hour 4, and cloudy. So, but we have a kind of dry start to that race. Here we go. We'll go. The 2.4 hours will start now. Good luck, everybody. And let's bring up the display. So it's a little bit wet on the track, but looks like everyone is rolling for now. So the first lap will be a manual formation lap, so no racing on that first lap. It will be still formation, single file. Let's get this grid going. So looks like everyone is now finding their grid slots, and we already see a little bit of a gap between the hypercars and the LMGT3s. That is fine. So the idea is to have like a roughly 10-second gap. Then when we start the race between the two classes, it looks like not everyone is on the racing soft tires at the moment. So yeah, racing softs and racing mediums are available. We have ×1 tire wear and ×1 fuel consumption. No mandatory tire compound, up to the drivers and their strategies, but with the risk of the rain lurking for at least 1.5 hours of this race. This could be very, very interesting. So let's get us through this grid. Lemony, then we took pole position. We have Blue Racer in P2 and Beetlejuice running P3 and River Ruckus in P4. Then it's Leroy P5 and M1M P6 with Scary Guy in P7 for the Hypercar class. For our LMGT3 grid, it is Oscar in the Aston Martin, and alongside the start it will be Taz in the AMG shaky Daytona in that second AMG, and with the Echo in the first Porsche. It's the only Porsche, I'm not sure. Yeah, probably it's the only Porsche. We have JD Murphy representing TCR and Ollie Henry Lexus RCF. It is Rick in the Beamer and Josh aka Pool Shark in that second Lexus on that grid. So let's have a look at the tires. Pool Shark on the racing mediums, Rick not Ray, Rick as well on the mediums. Ollie Henry also starting on racing mediums, so they're not expecting the rain probably. JD Murphy as well using mediums. And it's racing softs for our Porsche driver. And J.K. Daytona in that AMG on the softs. The same goes for Taz and Oscar in that hypercar class. It is softs for Scary Guy, racing mediums for M1M, softs for Leroy, softs as well for River, Beetlejuice doing the same, Blue Racer and Lemony. So 6 out of the 7 hypercars will be starting that race on the soft tires. And looking at the moisture meter, it is now completely dry. So nothing to worry about for now. We don't know what's the weather gonna be like for the next couple of minutes and hours. So we're getting closer then to the double file formation point. So once the drivers leave the Porsche curves, then we will go double file. The pole sitter in each class will take the left hand side. Let's go into double file, and we should get a lovely looking grid. So the hypercars and the LMG T3s as well will focus on the lead class now. Oh, just saw some contact. Hopefully no damage. No, it's all good. Now the tension is building for the race start, and it's up to the race leader then to start the race. So final chicane, and then we go green, green, green. Lemony with an early push onto the throttle. River got past Beetlejuice, and the LMG T3s are on the way as well. Oscar takes the advantage for pole position. It's the first time through the Dunlop chicane. The first two already building up a nice little gap. So Beetlejuice got past River Ruckus again. And in the LMG T3s, Oscar kept his lead. Test under pressure already with the second AMG right behind. And you have the Echo, Ollie Henry, JD Murphy, Rick, and Pool Shark. So it looks like everyone got safely past the first couple of turns. Now, first time on to the Mulsanne with the first chicane. That is, I think that is the Daytona chicane. Oh, and Lemony trying to break free. The Blue Racer gets a nice little toe. Stays within half of a second. Beetlejuice 2.6 seconds already. That gap. River in that toe. Leroy out of slipstream range. Same goes for M1M. And Scary Guy with a careful start to that race in the LMG T3s. Oscar already pulled that gap, 2.5 seconds. The two AMGs very close to the second chicane. As always, avoid getting the track limit penalties. Good run for J.K. Daytona coming out the second chicane. Tess staying on the racing line. There might be some different aero setups for those two cars, we don't know. Tess braking for the Mulsanne corner, all good, so it stays as it is for now. Ooh, big moment and unlucky. Oh, big crash. Ollie Henry and he got lucky, no damage, but unfortunately Bullshark couldn't avoid it and gets a little bit of front damage, so there was contact. And then the ghosting just a little bit too late. That is quite unlucky. So damage for Bullshark. Rick got lucky. Oh, and Blue Racer up into the lead. Lemony with a little mistake, maybe a second. The gap already. So Blue Racer leading after the first racing lap. Lemony in second position. Beetlejuice and River quite close, 6/7 the gap between the two, heading into the Dunlop chicane. Good run for River, closed that gap, gained a little bit of time. Maybe here through Tete Rouge, have to be careful. The aero wash will be a thing. That Toyota is quite a heavy car and quite understeery compared to the LMP1 class in the game. And you already see that gap went up to 8, 9, 10th. Third gear on exit. It's the second for now. Gaps are building already in the mid-pack, in the glass, and Oscar with a massive lead already, 5.5 seconds at this stage. J.K. Daytona got past Tess up to P2 in class. Tess in third, and the Echo not too far behind as slipstream range down on the Mulsanne straight, approaching the first chicane. So I was touching on that setup, so rear and front downforce is adjustable. We are running in-game BOP, but the downforce adjustments could make quite a difference in those cars, especially at Le Mans with some long straights. So you could probably get rid of some of these downforce settings then in your cars to get a good amount of speed. Just realized that Rick running with some front damage now as well, and outlap for Bullshark after that unlucky incident, pitted early and repaired the damage. At the front of the race, Blue Racer with a very good lap, gained another 8/10 so far. Pushing, build a lead Probably not looking after the fuel or the tires at this stage. Bit aggressive. It's 2 seconds for now, and those two are still kind of close. Beetlejuice and River, very similar lap times. River with a good run out of Dunlop. That seems to be one of his favorite turns so far. Gained like massively on Beetle. Now ODS's before Tattoo Rouge. Oh, that was a big cut for River on the inside. Indeed, that was too much. Collected himself half a second. But maybe it's worth it. So he gets a little bit of toe down the straight now. Might be able to get Beetlejuice at the end of the Mulsanne. So keep it steady. And better traction coming out of chicane for Beetlejuice. So he keeps that gap. Half a second should be safe before that second chicane. Leroy and M1M, as M1M the only hypercar driver on those mediums. Going for a longer stint probably, and just praying that it will stay dry, I guess. So Oscar 7 seconds in the lead after the 3 laps. The race is settling in now after the first couple of minutes. As with that half-second penalty, should be safe to keep that position. Yeah, I think we go to Beetlejuice and River, the closest battle on track currently. Looks like they're also gaining a little bit on Lemony. You cannot go that pace currently. It's the fastest in the qualifying session in race pace. Looks like Blue Racer got some extra speed, at least on the opening laps. And while we are running through that grid, I might have access to the weather radar of some of the drivers. Let's see, looks like I will be as blind as everyone is in this spectate mode. We'll just have some track maps on that bottom right that I can see. Just flicking through and see if we have some of the drivers with the weather radar on. It's not the case, so just the track map, unfortunately. Yep, just the track map, so we don't have a clue. Just have to rely on the visuals. You see the windshield wipers coming on at some point, if at all. It is still like the big question in this race. Quick look at the fuel, but nothing separating the two. Running pretty much the same, a bit deep for River, and lost another half second. 3:28. keeping that gap kind of stable. I think top 4 all did 3:28s last time round. Tire wear not a factor currently, but there is of course some wear on it. I think the fuel should easily last for an hour in the LMGT3s, maybe 70-80 minutes in the hypercars. Let's see if you get any close battles on track. Oscar doing his thing, sub 4 minute and running away with it in the LMGT3s. This is fairly close between Shaky, Daytona and Taz. Taz with another half second. The penalty though. As maybe a bit of less downforce setup on those straights. Was gaining, but could also be due to a better exit, of course. Three and a half seconds the gap for our Porsche driver. The thing is now to get into that rhythm and consistent lap times. It's still a very, very long race, of course. You see the lap count. So race until the checkered flag, it's 44 minus that one. Formation laps are 43 racing laps for the hypercars, that is, so the LMGT3s need to adjust. So my guess is the LMGT3s will do 7-8 laps less. Let's go a little bit on board with our race leader. 3 seconds the gap currently, and a good first sector. Purple. It is getting a glimpse at the sky, still just very cloudy. No dark clouds that I can see, at least. Not really short shifting, from what I can tell. Going down the gears. A very good lap so far. Yeah, really revving the car. And also looking after the hybrid. So you also see it on the bottom left. Hybrid energy is available in the Toyota. I think it will just kick in at plus 200 kph on the straight, so don't use it in the lower gears. Now deployment should start, yeah. Oh, and first time traffic, and for the hypercars, first time Hold your breath, blue flag, so much more speed for the hypercars through the Porsche curves. It is an awkward situation, definitely, so where to go, keeping it safe. Lost definitely some time, not purple. And it's good news for Lemony. You will catch the LMGT3 coming out of karting. So a nice spot, and yeah, Blue Racer lost a little bit, but that's multi-class racing. Like, sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you lose a little bit. 3 seconds. Still, people choose 4 seconds, and River lost contact a little bit now. It's 3 seconds. Also, traffic for the German driver. Should be able to get around the Lexus. Yeah, no drama. P5, we have Leroy. Personal best last time round. So it's like finding the groove now as well. And will that medium tire strategy work for M1M? Barely anywhere on those mediums. This Gary guy also slowly getting faster. He's definitely quicker than during his qualifying session. So keep it up. Learn and improve. Oscar 12 seconds, so nothing to worry. For now, good opening stint in the Aston Martin. Jakey versus Taz 2.3. It's still the closest gap in the LMGT3 class currently. Between the two AMG drivers. And the Echo still trying to keep up with those two AMGs in his Porsche. Consistency is key for 03s. It is at the moment. JD Murphy in that Ferrari. Let's have a look at the lap times. 406, 407, 407. So no major issues, and also using the medium tire compound to go for a potential longer stint. Oh, more lapped traffic incoming, and this time I think Lemony got held up a little bit. Gap to Blue Racer nearly 5 seconds. And it's getting a little bit darker. Or am I tripping? No, it's definitely looking, but also we have time progression, so evening, and should just run into sunset nighttime. And for this race, but with more clouds, of course, it should get darker. And that's, I will keep my fingers crossed that we will see at least a little bit of rain over the next couple of minutes. Yeah, first time for the Hypercars then to come around and get past the LMGT3s. Let's go back to Shaky and Taz. Still around about 2 seconds the gap. Only 5 seconds now to the Echo. Probably a small mistake somewhere throughout this track. Let's get some on board. AMG impressions. Still get a good view at the sky, but yeah, just clouds, no dark clouds, unfortunately. I say unfortunately. Pretty sure most of the drivers will be happy if it stays dry. Trying to judge the fuel usage. Say I think round about an hour should be okay. Tires also, the softs should last as long as the fuel lasts, and there is blue flags. It's the leader, it's a blue hypercar. Let's see Shaky's perspective, so it's probably not the area where, if you're a hypercar driver, where you want to face that traffic. Well played so far. Now into the 4 chicanes, and probably no room and for the hypercar to go now. Coming out of the final turn. Oh, River got lucky, maybe with a little bit of traffic as well. 1.62 Beetlejuice, who gets past Taz before the Dunlop chicane. Ruckus again. Will he go around the outside? No, Taz leaves the inside line open for the German driver. A good run for River. Bad luck for Beetlejuice, we saw that. Ooh, little tap. Love tap on the wall. And Beetlejuice lost some speed coming out of Tetra Rouge. It's a second suddenly between the Finnish and the German driver and the hypercars, braking for the first chicane. Keeping that gap roughly at that 1 second mark, and also the gap between Blue Racer and Lemony, so it's fluctuating depending on the traffic. So Lemony has to stay behind. Oscar in the LMGT3s loses half a second instantly again. At 3 seconds still, it's close between the top 2 runners. Tire wear can also provide similar for the 2 top runners. 1.3 approaching Mulsanne corner, and probably both will get past Oscar in the Aston Martin comfortably before Indianapolis. So yeah, Beetlejuice is through. Here comes River with the toe and the overtake. Oh, Leroy's that 35 last time around, maybe a bit of traffic. Oh, M1M on the mediums now, starting to catch. Slowly starting to catch. P5, scary guy in P7, still running a steady race. So Oscar, the Adam GT3s, 16 seconds. That gap, building that gap, lap by a lap. It seems we have Jakey versus Taz, 3.5 now. So gap going up a little bit. Also, the Echo not able to keep up now. 6 seconds it is. And this camera shot looked like really now some darker clouds. So far what I can tell, very disciplined drive from the drivers. Rick is running with a little bit of damage again on the front with BMW. So drop down to P8 in class currently. 6.5 seconds the gap. On racing lap number 9, 4 seconds separating the top two. Now they shouldn't face any traffic now for the next 6-7 laps maybe. Or maybe no time for Lemony to gain back some time. It's 4 seconds. Beetlejuice and River 1.2, 1.3, so it's very, very close. Let's look at the lap times. To the 3:30s, we saw plenty of traffic the last couple of minutes. Let's see if they can get back to the 3:29s at least. Tire wear is slowly kicking in. So in the hypercars we have the situation that the fuel will outlast the tires, the soft tires at least. Yeah, the tire wear pretty much the same for the top 4 runners at least. So top 4 all are in the soft tire compound. '29 incoming and 29.0. 29.8, 29, and River with a mistake through the 4 chicanes, pretty sure. Got half-second penalty plus. Yeah, the 30 time loss, so that didn't go to plan, pretty sure. And Leroy seems to be struggling a little bit now. Look at the lap times on the right hand side. 3:43 last time around, just 4 seconds. The gap to M1M. M1M is catching. Mediums looking really good at this stage. 3:38 though. Couple of seconds slower than the personal best last time around, but still catching the fellow hypercar driver, and it's another blue flag situation, and Leroy has to be patient through Tête Rouge, losing some momentum. Again, not ideal. So M1M with that massive gift gained a second, just like that, down to 2.6 it is. Just saw Oscar, 18-19 seconds to Jakey Daytona. Jakey now that gap to Tess, 3.4, 3.5, something around that. Very consistent lap times despite the traffic they faced so far, and apart from that 4:04 lap 8 test, it's also pretty consistent. Vehicle slowly losing contact. 4:06 last time around didn't really help either. There's still a big gap, 32 seconds. That's, I'm not sure about the pit loss, but I guess with tire change, refueling, you should be looking at 45 to 50 seconds maybe. For that one, Ollie Henry in the Lexus, slowly getting back to pace for 17 on lap 8. Also not really what you wanna have. Cool Shark, personal best, split sector time. 4:07 currently that best. And Rick still struggling with that damaged front, losing some seconds. 30 nearly the gap. Then two Pool Shark right in front of him. So as time progresses, still no rain inside. Those tires slowly getting towards the end of their predicted life. What happened to River? 3.3. No, he had to serve a penalty. No lap traffic, so maybe somewhere not the best run. Half a second down is personal best, so it should be okay on this lap. So on the previous lap, I reckon. Small mistake. But yeah, it's 13 seconds separating the top 4. And look at tire, fuel, it's all the same for now. So no big difference in the strategy for now. And looking at the track map, this lap traffic lies ahead very soon. You see in the distance. Rick in the BMW. Blue Racer should be able to get him without losing any time. So what about Lemony? I think he might be not that lucky. Coming out of the Ford chicane, so it's okay. And now the night is slowly creeping in. At the trackside we see some of the buildings on the pit lane and the Ferris wheel, etc. Now the lights now on. Big moment, but he had to use an off track to avoid contact with the BMW. I think he'll happily take that half second. So getting damage would be way worse. It's another opportunity for River then to close the gap. Let's have a look at the two AMGs. 5 seconds plus now. J.K. Daytona slowly creeping away, building up that gap to his fellow AMG driver. It's 24 to Oscar. Let's do it on board the Aston Martin. What do we reckon? Will we see some rain? It's in the area, no doubt about it. But it doesn't look like a big threat still. We saw on the display 272 kph. Yeah, same here, Equinox. Still hoping. I mean, the a heavier chance of rain will be round about the halfway mark. It's still building up from R03 over R04, then to this R05 setting, which should ideally give us a little bit of a downpour. Very clean lap so far here from Oscar in the Aston Martin Vantage, the V12 model. Again, just 270 before Indianapolis. That's the spirit, Equinox. Dance for me, baby. Dance. I'm actually a bit surprised that fuel consumption is not that bad. That was a lap from our race leader in the Allen GT3 class. Nice and steady. Taz struggling a little bit now with the pace, by the looks. 7 seconds. Facing some blue flags. Should be no problem. I think it's Scary Guy just behind to get him before the Dunlop. So gaps at the front, 2.7, so even with that penalty, River couldn't get that much closer. Traffic once again challenge for the Hypercar drivers, 2.3. Beetlejuice lost a little bit. Tyrell getting into the crucial stage now. I think the rears have definitely seen better days, but it's the same for all of our drivers. It's probably just 45 minutes of racing time in. No soft, so 50 minutes could be okay on softs then. Also probably some learning by doing the conditions. 6 seconds separating P1 and P2 currently in the Hypercar class. Another 7.7 to P3. It's Beetlejuice still and River Rockers in P4. Keeping Beetle honest. So we missed that overtake probably. M1M got past Leroy and traffic before Petre Rouge could be crucial. Ooh, the Hypercar goes wide onto the grass. Can he avoid the damage? Just that was a big moment, and Pool Shark was like, what is going on, people? He was just sitting in between. Let's have a look at. Yeah, a bit too eager. Looks like the struggle is real. Now, tire wear kicking in. It's down to P6 currently. The Oscar 29, nearly 30 seconds. And the gap to Jakey P2, roughly 8 seconds. Then to Taz, who is facing the blue flags again. Blue Racer, the Hypercar leader, goes around the outside the Porsche cars. Ooh, a dangerous move. And he made it work. Trusted the downforce in the Hypercar. And there was room given, definitely. So all good. Let's have a look. Oh, yellow flag. Someone at the moment. So who is it? Don't know. Blue flags are gone. Not sure, we'll keep here with the live racing action. Oh, 6.5 seconds. Blue Racer 2, Lemony, P1, P2. Lemony should get the double takedown on the straight. Blue flags. Three seconds for River. How do you get 3 seconds? Was there a yellow flag? Maybe. That would be very, very annoying. River didn't go for an overtake for position, pretty sure. Maybe it was just lap traffic. And still, that's not good. 3 seconds, so we will lose quite some time. Then 2 Beetlejuice reserving that penalty. So the first of the Hypercars is in, and there was a windshield wiper going. Maybe just out of reflex. Looks still very, very dry on the track. But the windshield wiper is going. Or maybe it's just a manual thing to do. I will keep an eye on the others. See if if it actually is a little bit of rain. Yeah, some light rain probably. Some of the windshield wipers are going, but nothing hit the track so far. But this could get interesting now. Let's see. So yeah, windshield wipers are going. Let's get on board and see. We see that we don't see the raindrops, but very, very light raindrops, and the track slowly getting wet, a little bit moist now. Oh, understeer for blue. Is this the interesting part of the race? It should still be dry enough to stay out on the slick tires, of course. Yeah, light rain currently hitting the track. Drivers now need to make a decision, so they're towards the end of their first stint. The tires are pretty much shot. It's a little bit wet on the track, but nothing major as stated. It should be good to run this lap, and no one currently looking to go for an early pit stop. So of course they all have access to the in-game weather radar, and maybe it's just a light shower. Oh, it's more rain now. It's clearly visible here for Oscar coming onto the Mulsanne straight. So maybe we will see some more rain hitting the track, and we could see, we hear the rain. We hear the rain now. Oh, Jakey Daytona in the pits now. He's refueling. And what's the decision? We see raindrops also in pit lane. And seems to be increasing. What is it? It is intermediates. Oh, the rain is increasing now here at the start finish like that. It's pouring down suddenly. A crazy downpour happening. So can the drivers survive? Now most of them are on this lap, and now it's raining like crazy. Oh, crucial moment in that rain race now. The rain. Now this is tricky, no doubt about it. I see traction control now kicking in. You have to be very careful. Will the car slow down? Yeah, it's fine. What about Lemony? No, he's too aggressive, using the gravel to slow that car down. Also an interesting way to do it. Equinox, yes, you made it work. Beetlejuice. Oh, it's now heavy wet conditions, and look at that. It's above the second mark. Oh, all the drivers that stayed out. Oh, they are struggling also. The intermediates probably having a hard time. M1M is on those intermediates. Big crash for Leroy. And on the racing soft tires, Scary Guy is on the softs as well. This is now chaotic scenes here at the track. The race leader in the LMGT3's Oscar is on the racing softs as well. Tess on the softs struggling. Everyone, the Porsche is going round. The Hypercar is spinning on those softs. Oh, Jakey Daytona onto the intermediates. I think he had a perfect moment to pit intermediates as well for JD. Murphy, Ollie Henry is in the pits, made it with a little bit of damage. Pulchak as well is in, and Rick, yeah, got caught up by the rain, close to the pit now, and the rear is going. Come on, just a couple of meters, 4.5 seconds for Blue Racer. He collected himself a big penalty somewhere. Whoa. Lemony is off once again, using the escape road, losing time. Opportunity for Dennis. Also, Oscar, the LMGT3 leader. No, they're going 3 wide through the Porsche curves. No way they will survive it. It looks like they have to be so careful now in those conditions. Lemony and Beetlejuice got round. Blue Racer made it into the pits, has 24 seconds, so he did a very, very good lap in those atrocious conditions. And Lemony early on the power, he loses the rear, spins once again, gets damage as well. Beetlejuice in, Oscar is in, River with 3-second penalty, but gets past Lemony, who has to be careful now to get into pit lane without spinning again. So Lemony from P2 down to P4. Oh, crazy events now. Oof. That didn't go to plan at all. M1M, who is on the mediums, could gain some time on this lap, while we have Leroy on the heavy wets now, going wide, cold tires. Where is the scary guy? He's still trying to survive that lap on the soft tires, and it's probably impossible to keep that car in a straight line. So Oscar is in. He survived somewhat, but did probably lose quite some time to Jakey Daytona, who pitted early. So Oscar is back on track on the intermediates. I think rain has stopped. And here comes Jakey Daytona. Definitely gained a couple of seconds. Lemony now finally out. And he's on the intermediates. Yellow flags, don't go for the overtake. You know, but he has a 1.5 second penalty still from that previous lap. And it's still heavy rain conditions, so that oof. River with a 3-second again. Closed that gap to Beetlejuice, who has a 1 second. And still 4.5 for Blue Racer, but a very healthy lead now with 23 seconds to go. So that's is everyone now on a wet or intermediate tire compound. Let's see, Rick on the wets, Bullshark on the intermediates, but it's still like heavy downpour. Ollie Henry on the heavy wets. Echo made it finally into the pits, lost massive amount of time on softs with the damage. Oh, JD Murphy on intermediates. P4 in class test on intermediates. P3, it's still atrocious conditions out on track. Jakey Daytona P2 in class, and Oscar still leading. The scary guy made it into the pits finally. Leroy on the heavy wets. M1M on the intermediates. Oh, another yellow flag happened. Still very tricky conditions. Yeah, by the looks of it. And Lemony suddenly 42 seconds behind the race leader. And everyone has to serve the penalty now. Blue Racer got those 4.5 seconds served. Here's Beetlejuice, who will just serve 1 second, River 3 seconds. So slipstream range goodbye, at least for now. Oof. So time for a little bit of a breather, and I need to drink something. So I didn't expect to see that amount of rain, that heavy rain with those settings, but the game surprises us, I guess, all the time. It's probably a nightmare for the drivers, but makes it very entertaining to watch, no doubt about it, and a big challenge, of course, and for everyone on track. And it doesn't really stop, this rain. Leroy is on the heavy wets, and Scary Guy also on the heavy wets. I had that lap on the soft, so was a lap down now. It's having way more grip now with those heavy wets. That's a good thing, I reckon. So in the LMGT3, still Oscar leading, but the gap shrunk 16.5. Top two, both on the intermediate tire compound. Taz in P3, but a minute and 8 seconds. See if this is correct, or will it update itself? Yeah. So also wasn't quite as lucky with the timing for the pit stop. With JD Murphy, I think it was quite okay with this timing. Got lucky, got into the pits in time without losing too much time. Cannot say that for the Echo. He was one of the last drivers to get into pit lane and had a very long lap the last time around, so it's time for a comeback. Josh gained the position with all this chaos, moved up one position, touched the wall, and probably blue flags, getting nervous. Race leader is approaching. Oh, the second Lexus, Ollie Henry, but running with front damage on heavy wets. I think will stay out and drive for a while. And Rick, front damage, both left and right front suspension. Took a hit. He's also on the heavy wets. But it seems like rain is easing off a little bit. Now it's still raining, but it's not like other heavy rain territory anymore. Whoa! And a big moment. Beetlejuice lost the car braking zone and opportunity for River. Yeah, he moves up into second position. Well, Beetlejuice had that moment. Let's watch it once again. Just caught the rear. And then let's see River's perspective. That's like an easy overtake in the grand scheme. Beetlejuice is flying, is catching again. It was definitely a nice little spin, but he still got lucky, no damage. That one, and now chasing down River Ruckus for P2. Lemony in P4 seems to be gaining. Oh, and there's traffic once again. Just gaining again. Good exit for River, better traction. Cannot get away that easily, but still Beetlejuice right behind. Let's go on board. On board. That's the button. The grip is building again. Heavy rain is gone. Intermediates now definitely the way to go. And probably now time to attack those curbs again. No, you don't have to stick to the wet racing line. I think you can just pretty much push. It's round about that first bar on the indicator. So race situation, we have Blue Racer, 24 seconds. Then River in P2, just 1.3 the gap to Beetlejuice. River with that half second penalty, he just collected Lemony. Oh, early pit stop, he's risking it for more than a biscuit, I think. That might be a little bit too early. That pit exit will be very, very, very wet. And let's see. So it felt like the try racing line would be okay, but you still have to think about the lap traffic on the track. Never know. I'm pretty sure he goes on to a slick tire compound. It's racing medium, so really survived the pit exit. He does. So yeah, really, really fast development here. If you look at the track wetness meter, it's around about that first bar now. So if you can keep it on the try racing line, you should be good. And he made that move already on M1M. And yeah, definitely a brave move. I'm pretty sure the other drivers will follow soon. Looking at that. Yeah, but still not easy conditions. Feel like always in drying conditions, it's so hard to drive and where to push. You cannot use the curbs, of course, and also some wet patches off the racing line. Usually play it safe for one more lap, but yeah, what Lemony has nothing to lose, I think, with that strategy, so you might be able to gain a little bit. So River will now serve the penalty. Can Beetlejuice catch him, overtake him? That's the question. Both on the Inter still approaching the Porsche curves, and River will just keep his P2. And looks like Blue Racer staying out, not pitting. So what is... I think River usually a driver that stays out for one more lap just to be sure, to be safe. And this time, yeah, he stays out. Beetlejuice decides it's time to pit. So yeah, it's how I've got to know in those two drivers in the league races. River a bit more conservative and Beetlejuice usually a bit more on the aggressive side of things with the strategy. Looks like so far Lemony survived that outlap, so he has definitely now the knowledge where to push, how to push. Looks like a solid lap. Definitely gained on Beetlejuice. Took that 13, less than 13, 12 seconds. Ooh, that was close. Okay, and Beetlejuice went on to the soft tires compared to Lemony, who is on the mediums. M1M still running on the intermediates. We have lost Leroy, I think, and also Rick left, so down to 13 drivers. Scary Guy on softs now as well. Oscar pitting for some slick tires now, but increased his lead, 28 seconds. Yeah, track conditions now really improving. I'm pretty sure everyone who's coming around now will head into the pits and get rid of the intermediate slash wet tire compound. Tess pitted on the racing softs. JD Murphy is on the medium tire compound. And the Echo on racing softs as well on the outlap. Cool Shark still on the intermediate, so went for one more lap, and Ollie Henry on racing soft tires. So now Blue Racer should follow the other drivers and pit as well. It's 27 seconds, so still a very nice gap, of course. And in he goes. P2 It is River. It's in as well. Will he lose that P2 to Beetlejuice? Stayed out for one more lap. Beetlejuice on the soft tires. Oh, stuck behind an Alan GT3. You have to be careful. Don't touch the wet bits. Yeah. It's mediums for our race leader. River still not done with the pit stop. Yeah, it looks like the undercut is mighty good. Here he goes. River might also lose that position to Lemony. Out of pits, it is mediums. And struggles, nearly loses the car. And Lemony now right behind. He took that gamble. And right behind River now. The pit stop both on the medium tires. Lemony's tires are up to temperatures and gets the move done. So up to P3 again. 10 seconds, the gap to Beetlejuice in P2. River trying to stay with Lemony now, of course. So Blue Racer, 21 seconds. The gap on the medium tire compound. And Beetlejuice in P2, 10 seconds to gap to Lemony, 2.5, so he's flying currently in those conditions. River still needs to adjust to the conditions, I think, and getting a little bit of GT3 traffic doesn't help for sure, so 3.2. Up in P5, still M1M on the mediums as well. The scary guy in P6 on the soft tires with a little bit of damage. Your hypercar classification currently. Oscar and with a massive lead, 46 seconds. Oscar is on softs, J.K. Daytona on mediums, P2. So those rain, yeah, very big gaps. Now after that downpour, the question is, will it rain again? Test to JD Murphy, that's roughly 8 seconds. Test is on the racing softs while JD Murphy is on the medium tire compound. And the Echo on racing softs with rear damage. Probably got caught out by a damp part of the track or a curve or whatever. Bull Shark in P12 overall. P6 in class, and Ollie Henry 8.5 seconds still running with that front damage in P13. So let's have a look at the development. At the front, oh, Beetlejuice with a disconnect. Oh, that's unlucky. He was catching Blue Racer. And oh, he lost another driver due to some technical difficulties, unfortunately. So gives Blue Racer a nice little 28-second gap to Lemony, who's back on the podium, P2. And River Ruckus, P3, 5 seconds. Cannot go Lemony's pace at the moment. Three 36s in those conditions. That's 8 seconds, 7-8 seconds slower still. But the track now pretty much dry on the racing line. Probably still have to be aware of the curbs. So who is brave enough to push in those still tricky conditions, even if the racing line is kind of dry, if you're forced offline, and it might get very tricky before the entry of the Porsche curves. It was good timing. So River might be a bit unlucky with the traffic. He's okay. He's okay. Not facing the GT3 traffic midway through the Porsche curves. Gets the move done, heading into the Ford chicanes. M1M with a little bit of front aero damage, running P4. Scary Guy lost it somewhere as front and rear damage. Oh, this. Oof. As I said, still tricky, and yeah, a wet curb unsettles that car. Dominant performance for Oscar in the other GT3s, the Aston Martin. Nearly 1 minute. The gap to P2 in class, that's JK Daytona. The last minute reserve in the AMG. Taz third in class. Opening up the gap to JD Murphy in that Ferrari. Taz on the softs, JD Murphy on the mediums. pit stop again for our Porsche driver. So probably getting rid of the damage, fixing that. Minute the gap to pool truck. Oh, should be okay. And Ollie Henry pitted as well to repair the damage. So River Lucas just got past. 8 seconds now that gap to Lemony. Was trying to close that gap to Blue Racer, but Blue Racer with a good speed in those conditions. So 28, 29 seconds, so nothing really changes at this stage. That middle part of our race now. And not looking like any more rain. Oh, both go a little bit deep into the Dunlop. It still can change. I'd reckon up until lap 35 for the hypercars, there is a valid chance of rain. So don't be like too confident. As always, expect the unexpected. Maybe that's Lemony's only hope. No. Get lucky with the weather. To bring that gap down 28, 29 seconds all by himself, and we saw that the pace was very equal during qualifying, and before the race Blue Racer had a little bit of an advantage so far. So those 28 seconds definitely not an easy challenge to overcome, but yes, stick to it and hope for the best. I think that's now everyone's going. Also the time of day, like the progression, so might have an impact. It's definitely getting darker for the night time, and also this the reduced visibility then could lead to some minor mistakes maybe. For now, it's kind of spaced out on the track. It's probably a good thing now to just do your thing and prepare for that final third of the race very soon. Lap times are slowly getting down again as we have a mostly dry track now. We have 5 seconds maybe off pace still. Looks like no one able to match Oscar's speed in the GT3s. That's pure dominance. 1 minute 5 seconds. A couple of seconds per lap quicker at the moment. We see 4:10s for Tess and Jakey and Oscar 405, 404, 403s. He's on a different level and has the confidence in those conditions to push the car. He's on the softs, so Yule might be okay to finish the race. Question is, will the tires last? Might be okay. So those laps in trying conditions, so it's good for the tire wear. So if it's still a bit moist on the track. So the gap doesn't change between Blue and Lemony. Still 28, 29 seconds. Both are on the mediums, but I've spotted quite a difference in the remaining hybrid. So if you watch closely, Blue has a full bar and Lemony getting closer of like full deployment, so, and not sure if he can recover with that hybrid. Again, it's still okay for now, but if he runs out of that hybrid, that will be not ideal. You will definitely lose some speed. It kicks in at the higher speeds, of course, but still it's something to keep an eye on. River with good hybrid management as well, so not sure why Lemony is all that way down with his hybrid boost. Quick look at the lap times, so they're slowly getting towards the 3:30 mark again. A 32:31 for Lemony and a 31:0 for Blue Racer. So yeah, definitely tells us track conditions are good. You can attack again. Curbs, yeah, a little bit. Ooh, that rear went nearly. So don't accelerate when you're on a curb. But apart from that, should be okay. So let's go back to the LM GT3s. See Oscar, yeah, flying, improving for 02s. Gaining, increasing his lead. Shaky and Tess probably also now getting closer to that 4-minute mark, or their personal best should be 4:2, 4:03, something like that. It's faster than the previous lap, but not by much. 4:08 it is. The next driver left this race. Ollie Henry with the lobby exit. Tesla gaining 4:04. That's nearly 4 seconds gained on Jakey at the moment. JD Murphy 4:11s currently. Should be an improvement as well. The Echo in the Porsche with a 4:05. That's a good lap time in those conditions. So after some unlucky laps, so what is possible for the Porsche? It's a minute, the gap, and 8 seconds. It's quite a gap, of course. It probably needs another downpour and to shake things up. For now, we look at the gap, and Blue Racer is not holding back. 31.5 now. The gap so far, a very dominant performance. Lemony had consistent lap times, 31s. Pretty sure that River Ruckus has closed that gap. Under 10 seconds. We'll have a look. Not on the previous lap. Pretty sure it was over 10 seconds already. Don't see any major mistakes currently. Yeah, River gained a second roughly on Lemony so far throughout this lap. That's probably the closest gap we have currently on track. Blue Racer, the only driver, sub 330. Weather looks very stable from the visuals. So most likely no more rain in this race. Oh, rain, what the hell? Oopsie. Don't trust a word I say. I said no more rain, pretty sure, judging by the visuals. Now we are back with a downpour again, and it's a quite heavy one. So, who did the second rain dance today? And once again, it's a bit of damage. Lemony River is struggling. He just started the lap just under 2 minutes. So who will get lucky? Or was it just that little bit of a downpour? There's a yellow flag, and M1M got damage, lost the car. Will be down the lap now as well. Blue Racer. Rain is gone again. Oscar is in the pits. Is it worth the risk staying out now? Woo! Blue Racer nearly lost the car. Good save. Play it safe and pit. It's a minute. Yeah, Lemony lost position to River. We have a minute. Suddenly the gap to Blue. So how did he manage to escape these conditions? He is pitting now for wet tires. It doesn't rain currently. Both River and Lemony are struggling. Maybe they were very unlucky with the rain on the part of the track. So Lemony takes that position again. Don't think if it's no more rain, then you could probably survive it. No, Lemony goes deep again. So River up into P2. It is wet, but it's not raining anymore. So what's the decision now? It's fuel and it's racing soft tires. Okay. So that was just a little bit of a downpour. And River staying out. Lemony with the damage. He's pitting. Will he get it stopped? Yeah, but I think no one is going for intermediates. Yeah, Oscar also went on to the soft tire compound, so this was just a little downpour. So hopefully no one gets tricked now into using intermediates. As I speak, it's intermediates for shaky Daytona. So they have probably conflicting information about the weather. The Taz is in and needs to fix the damage. Damage as well for the Ferrari. JD Murphy. Damage also on the Porsche for the Echo. It's crazy scenes in those now dark conditions. The Pool Shark survived in those conditions on the medium. So, yeah, Blue Racer now using soft tires. Fuel should be okay. River P2, 22 seconds. So Blue Racer had that free stop. No, that was, and even after that stop has a nice little gap. Lemony with some damage to repair, and now back onto the racing softs. Everyone is running with heavy damage on the mediums. The scary guy took the gamble, went on to the intermediates, but it's already trying again, so I'm not sure how long those intermediates will last. Oscar again with a good strategy call, at least from what I can tell. Now in cooler conditions, nighttime conditions, going for the softs. Shaky on those intermediates, while Taz is running with the soft tires. So Shaky Daytona has to pit. Pretty sure you won't be able to get those intermediates all the way till the end. So that gap between Shaky Daytona and Taz will come down. JD Murphy is on the mediums and not too far behind. It is the Echo in the Porsche racing softs with a little bit of front aero damage. I think that is manageable. Losing a little bit on the straight even while sitting in the slipstream. Yeah. Not really getting closer, so that damage might be bigger than expected. I think you should reach roughly 270 at this stage, so 10 kph down. Big little wiggle, good traction still coming out of Arnage. Let's have a look to fuel. JD Murphy should have no worries in getting that Ferrari all the way till the end. Porsche a bit lower on the fuel. And the track, yeah, definitely the intros not the way to go. Shaky Daytona stayed out on those intermediates, 42 seconds to gap to Taz. Currently, so still expect Shaky to pit at some point. Blue Racer, after pitting for some fresh softs, was 22 the last time. We had a look now at 26 again. It is 12 laps to go, so running a little bit behind the schedule with the weather, but probably it's okay. Extend that 2.4 hours a little bit. So River Rockers in P2, 27 seconds to gap to Blue Racer in P1, Lemony, then P3, another 28 seconds. So Lemony's on the softs, Blue Racer's on the softs, River Rockers stayed on the medium tire compound. Then P4, it's M1M on racing softs again. The scary guy still on the intermediates. This will probably change very soon. Oscar 1 minute Walkley that gap. So what a performance. Shaky losing 2, 3, 4 seconds maybe per lap. Still on the intermediate tire compound. It's really try now. Think he has to pit. Yeah. Will he stay in front of Tess? I don't think he needs to put in any fuel. Just change tires to the soft tire compound. So it's 38 seconds currently. Now changing the tires, Taz through the fourth chicane, and Shaky getting released, putting a little bit of fuel. Taz just crosses the line. It will have a close gap between the two, less than 5 seconds. 4 seconds. The Shaky on the racing softs. Taz also on the racing softs. Less fuel for Taz though. Oh, pit stop for the Echo again. Probably fixing the damage. Shady Murphy stays out on the mediums and moves up that one position. And a bull truck also on mediums. will stay in that position. In those conditions, it's a new fastest lap race. What is going on? But probably like the cool air does help with performance, and the racer feeling confident enough to push the car. 27.4 now. Oh, that's insane pace considering the circumstances. Nearly 4 seconds quicker that lap than River. Of course, River is on the mediums. Also Lemony with a 27, so conditions are probably really good at this stage of the race. Let's go a little on board then. Ui. Not purple, but still very fast lap here at the Le Mans circuit. Insane speeds through those purple curves. Another sub 3:30 for Blue Racer. 31 seconds. The gap, River is in P2. Oh, can he keep that P2? Lemony is pushing in P3 on the Racing Softs. Ooh, and that tap, that was a bit too much. That ended in damage for Lemony, unfortunately. Late decision to go into pit lane. Let's see what happened. He was brave and went past an LMGT3. Oh, it tapped him. Underestimated the speed difference, probably. Did it do any damage on the LMGT3? Let's have a look. Not sure who it was. We just go through the grid. It surely wasn't an AMG, the Ferrari. So it was probably the Porsche. But no damage from what I can tell. So just unlucky for Lemony. And it's probably not gonna catch River now. Roughly a minute now between the two. So let's go to the Alan GT3s. Oscar's leading 2 minutes. Scary guy now. Get rid of the intermediates and the battle of the AMGs. Let's see, both carrying half a second, but 3 seconds between the two. The fast approaching hypercar. Has to be patient this time. Sorry to hear, Beetlejuice, that the internet isn't still up there. But maybe it was just an outlier. You say we're like 3 days in a row now without any disconnects. So Taz gained 6/10. And having a good run through the first sector as well. So understeers a little bit too much. He needs to find roughly a second to get into the range. A nice little run through Dental Rouge. So 2.5. No hypercar traffic inside, though. This comes down to raw pace between the two. Shaky and Taz battle for P2 in the GT3 class. Evenly matched, I'd say, now at this stage of the race, the two AMG drivers. It probably comes down to who gets less track limit penalties. Or maybe if hypercar traffic arrives. And so I see a blue arrow behind, and that is River Ruckus. So he is now approaching those two AMGs. should be easy pickings before the Porsche cars. Test, but probably won't be able to get past shaky Daytona. Oh, this could be tricky for both of the drivers. Inside line opens. Let's see, under 2 seconds between Shaky and Tess, so it cost him a little bit. Tess really close now to sneak into the slipstream range. He's in it, but cut too much. The Ford chicanes. Still might be okay. He's now roughly at the 1 second. Morgan should get a nice little tow down the Mulsanne. So in the end, might still catch over the course of the entire lap, and yeah, he's in it, so he should be gaining now a little bit at least before the first chicane. The straight, let's see. Not yet, not yet. So, Jakey with a good exit of Tetra Rouge. Now, gain a half a tenth. Maybe out of the second, before the second chicane, let's see. No, not ideal. Still on a personal best, but both of them Tess losing now a little bit. So the two chicanes were not friends on this lap. So lost half a second roughly. But then gets a good exit out of Mulsanne corner, so bringing that gap down again. It's probably not enough to stay within the slipstream range when he serves that penalty in a couple of seconds. But I still think this is a battle we should expect to continue until the end of that race. A bit too deep. Oh, that's unlucky. So that's nearly 4 seconds probably. Had to catch. He was within a second already. Now it's 3.9 before the Porsche curves. Make it 4 when entering. Just about that. Still, it's still doable. So Blue Racer on lap 38 out of 44. That's 7 to go with this, and a personal best. The fastest lap of the race, 26.3. Toyota is flying. No doubt about that. 3:29.74 River and a 3:27.1 Lebanese chasing that past slap probably. 27.6, so 26.3. That's M1M with 32s now. And Scary Guy with his personal best, 39.6. 5 remaining hypercars. Oscar, personal best as well. Fastest lap in the LMGT3 class. A sub 4 minute with a 59.8. That's 2 minutes 24 seconds now. That gap to shaky Daytona. The clutch moment. Had his personal best, while Taz had to serve a penalty. It made 1 or 2 mistakes on that lap, and now that gap 5 seconds. The Ferrari in P9 overall, P4 class. Big gaps between Test, Shady Murphy, and the Echo is hitting again to fix the damage. So that were probably 2 to 3 pit stops too much for the Porsche. Poolshark might be able to move up 1 position, so we wait. Oh, Echo still not in the pits, so that Lexus might move up 1 spot. So fuel going in, that's probably not what you want. You just need to fix the damage, and yeah, indeed, Lexus upper position. Oof, nearly lost the rear. Blue still pushing hard. No rest for the wicked. Ruckus in P2, 48 seconds the gap. 11, he was pretty sure he's chasing that fastest lap. Will he get into the 26s? Yeah, could be a 26. Just what a lap time. 27.000. Yes. Still needs to find 710. Oh, that was very wide. Coming out of Dunlop might be a penalty. Let's wait, or was it just collisions? No. It was too wide. Personal best as well for M1M. 32.5. Oh, that's nice to see. And now we're really getting into the nighttime conditions. This was still like one of the closest gaps between 2 cars in the same class. Shaky Daytona and Taz. Now the gap went up to 7.6. Unfortunately for us, I think this Could have been an interesting battle between two AMGs. But it looks like JK Daytona found the pace. In those last couple of minutes in this CLR special event, big multiclass endurance race here at Le Mans. But just a little bit over the 2.4 hours. That's 5 laps to go. That's 17.5 minutes, roughly. Nearly 40 seconds the gap now for Blue Racer in P1. He was competing in the build-up series throughout the year, the Road to Le Mans series. And we got used to that car, and clearly shows his skills in that Toyota Hypercar. WEC is also raced in the Road to Le Mans series, so also knows in that car. P2 currently, and Lamini now going for probably the final attempts at the fastest lap of the race. I know he's quite competitive and he wants to get something out of that race. P3 is safe, 3 minute 33 that gap to P4. We'll get some fresh soft tires. Push again. I think track conditions, the climatic conditions should be perfect now to attack and set some fast lap times. So, will he be able to get it? Well, we'll find out. Not many laps to go though. A very solid race for M1M. P4 is scary guy in at P5. So far, yeah, very clean race, what I can tell on the drivers. Well done so far. Just bring it home now for those last couple of laps. That is Oscar, a master consistency. That is a very impressive drive here, dominating the LMGT3s. JK Daytona and P2 in class, not giving Tess any hopes of getting back into a close battle. 8 seconds for now, and Tess collecting some small track limit penalties lap after lap, but it looks so. P3 in class. Still a very, very good result for Tess. Ferrari, probably a tricky car to drive here at Le Mans, and we've seen JD Murphy using predominantly the racing medium tires. So when the tires on the Ferrari go, so it's really tough to control. So maybe a smart decision here to go with the racing mediums. Pool truck versus the Echo. It's a fight on track. Lexus versus Porsche. And would be a close run heading into the Dunlop chicane. Let's see. Pool truck going defensive. Will he make that apex? Where are the cars? I think that was a move around the outside, so let's see if we can catch that on the TV camera better. I was a bit lost with the onboards. Let's see, I think Pool truck went defensive. Stayed on the left hand side. Oh, nearly lost the car. Bit of contact, but both survived, and the Echo moves up a position again. Our race leader on lap 41. Looking at the fuel and the tires, should be okay. And for those last couple of minutes, 40 seconds, that gap now. Whoopsie, a little 1 second. He can't afford it. That's nothing major with 40 seconds to go. So lap 42, 3 more laps to go. And for Blue Racer and the Hypercars. Eurocus P2, 4 seconds behind, and let's get on board the Lemony and see how that attempt for the fastest lap. He's definitely going for a 3:26 on this lap. Would it be enough to get the fastest lap? 3:26.319 to beat. The optimum says 3:25.8. Okay. Carrying the speed through the Porsche curves. Oh, he's proper now. There's traffic though. He should be okay. Ooh, that was close. Traffic again into the Ford chicanes, and a half second. So that's not gonna happen. The fastest lap. That's the multiclass racing in a nutshell, probably. So pushing, and then you just get a bit unlucky with traffic. he had a purple sector. He still has, I think, one shot with this lap with the penalty. Not gonna happen. But that, we'll see. There are some blue arrows at the end of the Mulsanne straight. Will that be okay to not run into traffic? And it's the penultimate lap, so roughly 7 minutes to go. Blue Racer comfortably 44 seconds. River Rock is in P2, Lemony Squeeze in P3. We saw that M1M, P4, and Scary Guy P5 in the Hypercar class. Then moving on to the LMGT3s, Oscar 2:30 the gap to Jakey Daytona in P2, and Taz a bit low on fuel, maybe fuel saving for the rest of this race. 17 seconds, 18 seconds now. That gap, JD Murphy in the Ferrari P4, a minute the gap, and 1 minute 25 to the Echo in the Porsche 911, and Pool Shark in the Lexus RCF. And personal best last time around. Let's go. 3.5 seconds on the mediums. The Echo on the soft tire compound though, going for some personal bests towards the end of that race. Let's stay with Oscar, the leader in the LMGT3s, for the next couple of minutes before we then watch the racer in the hypercars take on the final lap of the race. Still a bit early, I know. You should wait before the race is done and the checkered flag. But so far there is an impressive performance here. Oscar in that Aston Martin, dominating in that GT3 class today, survived the tricky conditions, and apart from the previous lap, very consistent lap times here at the Le Mans circuit. So then we go to Blue Racer now, starting the final lap of the race. And also Blue Racer with impressive speed And some lucky moments, they survived the heavy downpour. And it was close between Blue Racer and Lemony Squeeze for the first 30-40 minutes, I reckon. And then with that rain, so Blue Racer never looked back since then. Now going for that victory at the 2.4 hours of Le Mans CLR Special Series multiclass racing with just over 2 minutes to go. River Ruckus is also on that final lap, and Lemony will he be able to finish the lap? So we just have 3 minutes because of continuation time when the race ends. Might be unlucky, only 26.4. He nearly got it, nearly got that fastest lap. It was so close, and there's Oscar is on the final lap now as well. So we jump back to Blue, approaching Indianapolis for the final time. One more time, braking for Anage, the right-hander. Getting ready for the Porsche curves. "45 seconds, that gap." I can take it easy now through those fast flowing S's. The exit, karting through Corvette curves, past the Maison Blanche on the right hand side, pit entry into the Ford chicanes, part 1, and then it's the second part, and here we go, race winner and winner in the hypercars, that is Blue Racer. Oscar is on the final lap as well, leading that LMGT3 class by quite a while. Will he be able to end the lap? Probably should see the checkered flag, but now the time remaining is ticking down. So River Ruckus will finish on the podium, P2, and the hypercar class. Final time through those 4 chicanes and ending the race in style with a penalty. That is P2. Lemony is purple. Let's see, he might get that. He might get that fastest lap. He's flashing the lights. He's on a fast one. With shaky Daytona finished, and in the end, Tess doing a good TCR impression and nearly running out of fuel, but will come home third in class and not running out of fuel in the end. Lemony coming through. Where's Oscar? He's behind, so there's a hypercar in front. Lemony will finish P3 in the hypercars. Will it be the fastest lap of the race? 24, 25, 26.17. He did it on that final lap of the race. So M1M finished P4, Scary Guy P5 in the Hypercar. So now let's get on board with Oscar and winning the LMGT3s. He's cruising, has plenty of fuel left, and wins the LMGT3 class. So Jakey in P2, Taz P3, JD Murphy finished that race in P4. Probably the Echo and Pool Shark, they won't be able to see the checkered flag with that time remaining. 22 seconds, 20 seconds it is. So the Echo in P10 overall. That is P5 in class? 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. P5 in the LMG3 and Pool Shark then in P6. Alright. So then let's go to this one. We're gonna save the replay just in case, and let's bring up the race results. Your Blue Racer with a dominant victory in the Hypercars. Rivercross P2 and Lemony Squeeze P3 on that lead lap. M1M 1 lap down, P4, Scary Guy 4 laps down. Finished the race P5. LMGT3s, we have Oscar in the V12 Vantage. And Jakey Daytona last minute reserve in the AMG, P2 and Taz on the podium in third position in that LMGT3s. And we have JD Murphy, the Echo and Pool Shark. And then unlucky we had disconnects from Beetlejuice and maybe quits from the other drivers. I don't know, they were running with a little bit of damage or weren't quite happy, but it happens in those longer races. So yeah, well done everybody for sticking around. So yeah, it's announced in the Discord like it's like the longest single driver event in CLR history to date. So yeah, maybe we can do this again at some point. 2.4 hour series maybe incoming next year or so. Maybe we could run a Nürburgring 2.4 hours, a Spa 2.4 hours, Daytona 2.4 hours, whatever, with some different kind of multi-class racing or just single class racing. We'll see. Could be a thing maybe. So finally tried that. The weather definitely was spicy in the end. Didn't expect that much rain, to be honest, but hey, it was entertaining at least. And yeah, probably pretty tricky for the drivers. So yeah, once again, shout out to everyone who competed. And I hope to see you around at some point very soon. Until then, as always, take care. Love you all. Bye bye.